Today I'm going to take you through two of my favourite glute exercises. I'm going to first show you how to stretch the muscles around the glutes, which inhibit it from working. I'm going to show you how to activate the glutes before you start your workout. So a stretch to start off with. You can use the bench to balance on with. I'm going to put that leg forward, opposite to the psoas muscle that we're trying to stretch. Kick the back leg out to the side, tuck your pelvis underneath, lift your chest, and we're going to raise that arm up nice and high to stretch the fascia up and pull over towards the front leg. The reason why we're stretching the psoas muscle is because it's opposing to the glute muscle. Trying to think of it as a bicep and a tricep, which are opposing muscles. So if you would contract your bicep and the tricep at the same time, the arm's not going to go anywhere. So if I was to contract the biceps, the triceps won't work, and vice versa, contract the triceps, the biceps won't work. Same concept with the glutes. If this muscle is tight, the psoas muscle, then there's no way the glutes are going to fire through their full capability as well. So we're always going to stretch that psoas muscle or the opposing muscle groups. Just talking through about before, we're tucking that bum, raise that fascia up. We just want to hold for about 30 seconds each leg. And relax. If you don't have anything to balance on the other side, you can just do it without it, but don't forget to kick that back shoe out to the side, tuck your bum underneath you, raise your chest, and out. We're going to hold for about 30 seconds. So a little technique I like to do, we're going to stretch the psoas and the ITV before we start, and I'm going to show you how to activate the glutes. Let's hold this for another 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The next stretch we're going to go through is an ITV stretch. The ITV attaches to the glutes and runs down to the knee. So if that is too tight, it's going to inhibit the glutes from firing properly, or it's actually going to take over the movement rather than the glutes. So when we cross our legs open like this, so we've got about a 90-degree angle at this knee, about a 90-degree angle at this knee, so trying to find the knees in line with each other. Put that shoe on top. We're going to square up and lie straight down there. You can see how that knee is raising, because that's the ITV. I'm going to see if I can lie down carefully. Just keep pressure on my foot onto my knee, just give that a good stretch, and then just try and lie down. You can hold that for a little bit longer if you like. I'm going to show you how to do the other side. So if you sit out, legs out in front, kick one leg out to the side, stick that shoe on top of the knee. It'll raise off the floor a little bit if you're pretty tight like I am. You're going to lie down onto your back, and just relax there, and with this top shoe, just push down onto that knee. What we're trying to do is, with this hip that is raising off the ground, you're gently just trying to also push that down to the ground as you're applying pressure with that shoe. And the next thing we want to do is activate the glutes before we start. So you've probably seen this position before, where everyone's on their hands and knees and then shooting this leg up, and a lot of people have seen this in classic old school videos of how to switch the glutes on. But what you'll find is a lot of people will compensate through the pelvis, and they're arching a lot, and all they're doing is the tight hip flexors are arching their back, and they're still not getting that glute recruitment. So what we're going to do is drop to the elbows. That way you'll find when I raise my leg up to the ceiling, there's a lot less pelvis action. It's harder for me to arch the back and get the wrong recruitment pattern. So I'm just going to try and keep the hips square to the ground and try and activate that glute driving up through the heel, and you find it's a lot harder for me to arch my pelvis. Just to activate these before you start, hold for about 2 seconds at the top. You want to aim for about a set of 10 each leg, and you'll find those glutes are ready to go after you do 10 each. So here's the first exercise, single-legged Bulgarian deadlift. Put one toe up on the bench, jump out forward, make sure there's a 20-degree knee bend in this front leg because of the ITV attaches to the glutes. We want to make sure the glutes are firing. If we have a locked out knee, you're only going to get hamstring recruitment. So with this soft knee, normal lordosis in the low back, so we don't want to flatten, we don't want to round. Keep your shoulder blades back and down. We're going to hinge from the hips, push your bum backwards, keeping a nice arch in the back. Hold for about 2 seconds, and come up again without straightening that front knee there. So we're going to go a couple of reps, pushing the bum backwards for about 3 seconds, hold for 2, come up for 1. So 1, 2, 3, hold for 2, up for 1. 1, 2, 3, hold for 2, up for 1. We want to aim for about reps of 8 to 12 on each leg. So the next exercise we're going to superset that with It's what I've called a triplane lunge because it gets 3 different planes of movement in the glutes. So you want to start off in a static stance, and I always like to do my opposite hand to my leg holding the kettlebell. Now the first part of the movement, we're going to practice that hip hinge again, so your bum goes backwards. You should create a nice arch in the back. You should already start to feel that hamstring and glute loading up on this front side. If you feel that, you're going to move into the next movement. If you don't, think about adjusting your pelvis back a little bit more just to feel that fire. Now to get an even more enhancement out of the glutes, you're going to drop your back leg, keeping this angle in the front, bend your back leg slightly. Again, you should feel that glute load up probably another 20% more. Now to get another different plane, I'm going to take this kettlebell across my leg, puts a little bit of rotation, and now you're even feeling the glutes even more, about that extra 20%. And then from there, it's going to fire up all in one movement. So the movement is a hip hinge to feel the hamstring and glute load up, drop the back leg to load it up even more, and then take that kettlebell over the front leg, little bit of rotation, the knee tracking staying the same, and drive up all in one motion. So the first part of the movement is a hip hinge, feel that stretch through the hamstrings and the glutes, drop the back knee to load it up even more, and then take the kettlebell across the leg, little bit of rotation, knee tracking is straight, and fire up all in one motion. So it's bum backwards, knee bend, take it across, and push up. Try that all in one motion on the way down. Hip hinge, back leg drops, rotate, push up. Hip hinge, back leg drops, rotate, push up. Again, hip hinge, back leg drops, rotate, and push up. So the way you would work that one, you do the Bulgarian deadlift, 8 to 12 reps on one leg, 8 to 12 reps on another leg, then superset it with a fresh leg on your triplane lunge, 8 to 12 reps on that leg, 8 to 12 on the other leg.